Hey, today I want to talk about the Jobs to be Done framework, also known as JTBD. Jobs to be Done really puts the customer at the center. It really tries to look at the jobs that your customer is trying to do when they purchase your service or your product. So it really shifts the focus from product features to the outcomes that the customer needs to do their job. The Jobs to be Done framework was created by Clayton Christensen in his book, The Innovator's Dilemma. He describes how the focus has been very much in trying to please the customers instead of trying to understand what is the underlying problem, the underlying jobs that they are trying to achieve. Anthony Ulwick also popularized the framework by creating a book called Jobs to be Done: Theory to Practice. So today let's talk about what this framework is, how you should apply it, what are the pros, what are the cons, and what are the use cases for this framework? So now let's talk about how to implement the Jobs to be Done framework into your processes. And for this, JTBD proposes the next structure. First of all is the situation. What job is that person, your potential customer, trying to do? Where is doing this job? Where the job is being done? When the job is being done? And by who is this job being done? The next one is the goal. What is the outcome that they want to achieve from doing this job, and why is this outcome important for them? The next one are the challenges. What are the things or the obstacles that are preventing the users, those prospects, from achieving their goals? Fourth are the motivations. What are the pain points that this person is having, and what are the opportunities they're hoping for? Some people have put these 4 stages into a template that you can use to create a job to be done description. Let's look at a potential case. I want to hang a painting on my wall when decorating my home and showcasing my personal style, so that I can create a visually appealing and personalized space without having to worry about damaging the wall or painting, or lacking the necessary tools or skills. So here you can see that there are 4 sentences that you had to fulfill in order to define those 4 stages. I want to, when, so that I can, without. Now let's talk about the purpose of Jobs to be Done. What are its pros, what are its cons, and what are the best use cases? Let's start with the pros. The first one, probably quite obvious out of what I said in the beginning, is that it's a very user-centric framework. It really puts you in the shoes of your customer, of your prospect, to try to understand what is that job that they are trying to achieve. It actually really takes you away from product features and almost from the product to really understand what they are trying to achieve. This is very important because it's going to help you understand those problems, those needs, those jobs that your users are trying to achieve. The second pro is that it promotes innovation. Given that it's taking you away completely from your product and from the product features, it really helps you to try to think in new ways. And this can help you promote innovation in the ways that you are serving the products that you are building for your customers. It's also a very competitive approach because by thinking this way, you are putting yourself in a completely different position from what usually your competitors are going to be doing. And this might give you an edge. It might give you a unique selling point compared to how they are solving those problems. The cons of Job to be Done is that, of course, again, it's a complex framework, as most of the frameworks are in reality. It will require quite a bit of research to really understand what are those jobs that your customers are trying to achieve and how they are trying to do them. And you can think that not everybody is going to. It's probably not so easy to simplify the sentence as I did into just one model on why do I want to hang a painting on the wall. There are probably many different situations and many different challenges or many different motivations that people might have when they're trying to achieve the same job. So it's going to require an in-depth research that sometimes in some cases might not be justified. As you can imagine, this is going to be a time-consuming approach. For many companies, this is going to be a problem because if you work in a tech company, you probably know that you have a ton of items in your backlog. You have maintenance to be done. You have to make sure that you are keeping with your strategy. And sometimes dedicating the effort to do this, many companies are not going to have the resources. Many companies, especially if you're thinking about smaller teams, they are going to have a struggle to be able to do something like jobs to be done. And if they do it, it might be risky for them. It might be a very risk bet to do it. It might be true, and I would argue that if you do this kind of framework, if you do this kind of research, you probably are in a better position to understand what you're building. That's also true. So you have to balance this out. What is the risk that you can take? How much time can you dedicate to an approach like this one? And finally, there's a risk of oversimplification. You could take the example I showed you earlier. You could say, and I would agree, that I'm just oversimplifying. It might be very easy to oversimplify a process into just a sentence. You have to have the research in the background. You have to really go through all the challenges, all the different opportunities, all the different motivations, all the different people that could be affected by the job that they want to achieve. In the end, this is going to happen also when you're creating a business model or business case. When you are doing your research, you probably are going to look into many industries, many user personas, but then you will simplify into 2 or 3. Are you simplifying too much when you're trying to define everything as, it's like the same as a user story? You might oversimplify the content. And although you might have done the research, the next person that is taking your sentence and taking it as face value, they might not see what is behind. That might be a problem. So now let's talk about what are the best use cases for using jobs to be done. The first one that comes to my mind is very linked to the pros of jobs to be done, is that is going to help you innovate. And I think that there is a very strong argument that really diving into one of these frameworks, jobs to be done, one of them, it's going to help you find innovative ways or innovative solutions that you might not have thought in the past, when you are just jumping into a problem and then building a solution right away because I know my industry, I know my customers really well, I know my product very well. But sometimes it's good to take a step back, especially when you are trying to tackle potentially a new industry with your product, or you are trying to tackle a new type of persona in your product. It might be good to take that step back, really think that, is this something that I need to do, or do I know the solution, or should I take the time to do a research and really try to find a new way of solving those unmet needs that my prospects, my customers have. When you want to do a market research, I think that jobs to be done is a great framework to really work with. Based on all the study that it tries to do on motivation, behavior, challenges, the situation where those people are, is really going to help you a lot, having to research, having to understand better what those customers, those prospects are in need or what they're looking after. And finally, jobs to be done is a great framework when you want to do like a competitor analysis. Where are you comparing to other competitors? How are you understanding what your customers are trying to do and how other competitors are doing the same thing? You might have a very similar approach, but if you want to find a competitor advantage, or you want to have that unique selling point or that key selling point compared to your competitors, doing something like jobs to be done is going to help you take the other perspective of the customer and understand better what they're trying to achieve and how my services, my products are helping them really get to that outcome that they are looking for. How it's my product or my service really helping them build or solving those problems that they have. And this is going to help you take a different approach, potentially see in a different way what they're trying to do and how you can build new solutions compared to the traditional solutions that we have already in the market. And obviously that should help you to build a competitive solution compared to what your competitors have at this point. So is jobs to be done a framework that you should consider? I think that jobs to be done is a quite interesting framework. It depends a lot on your style of working. I've seen it used in at least one company. I haven't seen it used as widely as other frameworks out there. So I haven't seen it used so much as other frameworks, like for example, Double or the Triple Diamond, which seems to be a more established framework within software companies, at least That's the experience I have. How about you? Have you seen jobs to be done being used in many software companies? I would like to hear your comments and your thoughts about the framework, so please leave your comments down below. I have put a playlist with different frameworks that are being used for product management but also for operations within software companies. If you want to check it out and you want to learn more about how modern companies are working, go check it out up here. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one, and remember, stay safe.